for Isaac. I'm just picking a step so that you understand. Then you come to Jacob. Jacob's own was done by who? Himself and him alone. How did it happen? But first, something happened. Do we call it love at first sight or like at first sight? Rachel or Rahel. I always think that this thing about love at first sight, maybe rather is like at first sight. You see of course, you have to like somebody before you kickstart a relationship. So, of course, sometimes I don't understand Jacob. Maybe, Pastor, it was their culture. Why Jacob decided to serve 7 years for a woman. And then their culture played there. A different woman was given, decided to serve another. Whether he wanted to marry two or not, of course, the way he played, you could see that if he had gotten Rachel for the first time, then the other one wouldn't have happened. And we also can follow Jacob and his troubles with the children fighting, and then a whole lot of stories is there for us to understand. So, you can also look at one different one in the Bible. The first time I took note of that kind of Bible story, I get a bit worried. This time is a woman that is looking for a man, assisted by a mother-in-law who has turned to be a mother. Of course, you know that woman I'm talking about, Ruth. Let's read a little bit about Ruth 3:1-5. Of course, I still have challenges with the approach, but of course, they are all important. I'm bringing it there because there are times a woman should also play a role. Yeah, 1-5.
Let us hear the word of God. Then Naomi, her mother-in-law, said unto her, My daughter, shall I not seek rest for thee, that it may be well with thee?
So other versions say, shall I not seek security, right, for you? This one say rest. Okay, I prefer the security.
And now, is not Boaz of our kindred, with whose maidens thou wast? Behold, he winnoweth barley tonight in the threshing floor. Wash thyself, therefore, and anoint thee, and put thy raiment upon thee, and get thee down to the floor. But make not thyself known unto the man, until he shall have done eating and drinking. And it shall be, when he lieth down, that thou shalt mark the place where he shall lie, and thou shalt go in, and uncover his feet, and lay there down. And he will tell thou shalt do. And she said unto her, All that thou sayest to me, I will do. Amen.
Amen. I hope you listened. This time, two women initiate marriage proposal, finding a life partner. Of course, we know the consequences that led to that. We're not talking about that. But maybe Pastor can help us, or is this people Messiah and the rest? Anybody can help. Still trying to understand the approach. I don't know of much of the culture at that time. Some explain because get to the time that they exchanged the sandals to show that I have redeemed and those things. But that approach, of course, Boaz had seen Ruth already. And then maybe the favors that he gave her led to created the opportunity. But Ruth played a role. But our context is like we making it sound like a woman cannot play a role in finding a life partner. Here, let's help our young ladies. Maybe not the same approach. What role can they also play? Okay. Okay. She knows. Okay. So, in the modern sense, joining the choir, yeah. I need more because you see, this thing I'm talking about is many years ago. You see, the time that we are not much old, at that time, even those days, if a woman could do that, in fact, going to where the man was sleeping is my trouble, uncovering the feet and those things. But the point is that Ruth, just as he said, positioned herself. What are some of the things that our ladies can do now in trying to find a partner?
Looking at, he says that, my daughter, I need to seek some security for you.
Good. Mothers.
When he says that, I am thinking it goes beyond just positioning. Because if you look at the context for him, he says, wait until he has finished eating and drinking. Mark the place he's going to sleep. Go and lie down with him and uncover his feet. And I'm thinking that uncovering his feet, I don't even know whether it's just removing the sandal or something. I think maybe it has a more detailed meaning. And I think, I think it's not just positioning here.
Of course, when you continue, you see the man said that, may God bless you for not chasing after young.
That's right. So they cancel. If you look at, in fact, everything, then probably I have to explain what positioning means. Yes, positioning here is when you look at your prospect, the target. All right, I'm interested in Tonto, but even today it's difficult for women to approach, men. You can imagine those days. All right, so you have counsel from people and say, you know what? When a man, you see, like your elder, when a man finishes eating and drinking, he's the most vulnerable at the point. So target that time. Go and cover. Of course, it had significance, meaning at the time, probably just service. All right? Just like we even advise our daughters. You are growing up. You need, serious. You need a man who is serious. Who's a man, and say you are sorry them all. Or is serious. Take note of the word security. He is working, he's okay. Please position yourself. Make sure that you target him at the right time. I remember a friend of mine shared a story with me. They go, when the young pastors come, my pastors are looking at me. When they go, they enter the ministry fresh. The old women have a way of inviting them, all right, to their houses, homes, to come and eat. So there's an instance where the guy has been going to eat not opening his eyes. So at a point when the guy eventually brought the wedding invitation, the woman was so disappointed. I've been feeding you for about 1 year. My daughter brings the food all the time. No, the guy couldn't just open his eye well. All right. And then later, somebody else who was not serving, was the one who got the man. In other words, for me, I see clearly a case of positioning. If the timing, isn't it? what to do were all orchestrated. And for me, that is where what strengthens my positioning argument. It was strategic.
Madam.
The ladies, you can be usher or deaconess. So when you are writing the offering, the men will look at you, and even you can join the singing group. Today, the lady who sang this morning, afternoon, look at the way the lady was singing. I was there, I said, this lady, me, somebody will approach her. So you can.
So okra obana dream boni wo trim say.
Hey, it's a
Any
good
man here then.
intention. You wanted to.
I was trying to find. I watched this Ruth story as a movie, and actually, before Boaz would get Ruth, there was another kingsman in the tribe who wanted to take Ruth as Naomi's property because Naomi had brought her. He was overseer of the land, so he wanted to take her. So Naomi telling her that I wanted to secure you is because she saw that Boaz also liked her, but because of the kingsman's authority over her, she needed to do something to secure Ruth's future. Yeah, so at the end of the day, what she asked Ruth to do was a way for Boaz to see that because you like me, I also like you. So hurry up, do the oils. The other person will come and take it. So I think actually what we are discussing, it is that she wanted Ruth to be secure and safe in a place where she is wanted, and she also wants to go.
Okay, because it's Bible story, he said it's movie. Let's do some quick corrections there. That security is like a female, you can't own land and those things. Your husband is dead. So now securing means you only have to get back to the family to be able to get what belongs to Malo and those. So the point here is that you see the man went to that nest, you say nest of kin, the one who was closer. Then he's saying that it's like, if I take it, I also reign my inheritance. Because maybe I also have wife, children, and those things. Why do I have to add this? So he said, I am not interested. That's why they exchanged. But the point here is, Ruth and Naomi had already done preparation. I don't know whether Boaz was already married or not, but he was a rich man. But not that old. Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily mean he was that old. But when you check, it's like, I think it's like the father-in-law's brother. So it's like father-in-law's brother that he. So let's still stay with how we can help the ladies today. I'm beginning to think that some of the guys don't even know how to go about proposing. But the ladies, is it that the ladies are not doing enough to catch their attention? Or, guys,
It's probably because they are not interested. They are not interested. Because what I know about ladies, if a lady is really interested, in you, they will position. They will position. They will find a way to position. And probably, and my what I see with the current generation is probably are looking at the different places, to look for spouse. But if they're really looking within, they would have positioned themselves. But for me, that's how I see the problem.
So that means it's like they've not met someone they either like or want. So now no positioning. And the ladies, I want to hear some talk. What is the challenge? Is it that the men don't see well?
An experience I had when I was in school. Now, when I was pursuing my target at the time.
It's unfortunate she's not.
Oh, yes, that's how I can talk freely.
That was not the first target.
Oh, that's the only Basa. That was the first and only target. All right. Oh, why? Why were you there with me? All right. So when I was pursuing the target at the time, I recall I had employed one of the friends. You know, sometimes some of these ladies, immediately they see you interested, they start putting up attitudes. Why? We will answer that question today for us. So this was somebody I was, whatever, but immediately I started showing interest. She started bringing attitude. So at a point, I had to bring in, friends that I didn't even like. I had to befriend them. So all her friends became my friends. You're right. And then one particular lady, I recall very vividly. After, go and call her for me. Where is she? Kind of questions. And I want to. Then, after doing that 1, 2, 3 times, the third time she got angry. Then she on one, I don't want to, maybe if I do that, some of you will know. But, Kwadwo, what is wrong with you? You are pursuing a target. The target is not interested, isn't it? But I am here. That day, it took in fact, I could see signs, but she said, and then come the person is not interested. You have been sending me back and forth. I am interested. Do you know why? Me nibi. Yanka wasem. Ma are was obia. No, and in fact, I was like, but how can you do that? And I had to just, because she put me a very tight. So I said, but how can you do that to your friend?
I was a friend to the lady.
A friend. She's the one who's giving me all the lead. But the point says she has tried all that she could. The lady is not interested. She knows her. She knows like that she's not interested.
That's positioning.
Positioning. That's what I'm saying. So she came out and said, Kwadwo, I have everything you need.
Hey.
And it actually gave me an advice that as a young man, don't be chasing women who don't love you. Mm-hmm. Love the ones that already love you. It will be easier for you. I have never seen that in my life.
What did you do?
What can I do? In fact, I had to get angry. I had to get angry and say, if you don't do the job, forget about it.
So
and
you
stop.
See, you were discouraging.
Now also got angry. I said, didn't I see you before? I please. The market. You want to support somebody? Just do. And I told her I would tell
that your friend.
Yes, of course I was not going to do that, but just to keep her away from me, I said, if you do that, I will tell your friend that this is what you have been doing, and that ended there. Of course.
Is it what scares the ladies? For instance, if they make an effort and it doesn't go the way they want.
Of course. That is why we normally advise that you don't. For me, as much as possible, don't go all out like that. Because then after that, like she never felt comfortable, even to today. You could have just positioned without having to say.
But she did all that. You still did not see anything.
But at that time, I was pursuing another target. How do you expect me to see at the point? So I think basically that is the point. There are people who come out who are able to say it. There are people who position there differently, but they do position. The problem is that because I was not looking at that direction, no amount of positioning, isn't it, could draw my attention. Probably if I had not been able to achieve, hit my target, isn't it, then I would have probably fallen back to that. But fortunately, by the grace of God and much prayers and fasting, the target.
Okay, any other that we move
the other hits.
Because now I want to know the road that mothers can play to help their daughters? No, because of this angle, you see, I'm using this angle because it's always the men's affair. A man is supposed to, so I'm trying to, anybody can still talk about the males also. So let's hear Auntie B and then.
Okay. What I also want to say is that the side of the ladies is like how our culture is. Hardly do you even say some things to men. So it's difficult for us, like a lady taking initiative. Always is someone who does it, then you get the support. So that is one. So, and some also feel like when I go and propose and the person does not accept, like, yeah, no, that one is, yeah. But you see, I'm taking it from the side, like, we don't normally do that because of our culture. There are some things we don't do. It's now that it's coming up that women take most, like we initiate some things. So I think that one too.
That time it was male dominated more than now.
And also the fear of you, because ladies talk a lot. I'm interested in this guy. Then I discuss with my friend. Then he rush. So yes, that one too is there. So they normally doesn't want even anyone to see that this is the guy I'm interested in.
Now I understand.
So that is
okay.
it.
So let me hear Madam Ophelia, then I'll come to you.
I think with the positioning, most men want women who will bring something to the table, not in terms of only money. Mm-hmm. When it comes to reasoning, advice. So as ladies too, we should be ready to be knowledgeable. We should be ready, if there is a discussion, what are you saying? Is it like, oh, whatever that you say is good? When you are conversing with them and they are guys, they will feel like, oh, you don't even have anything, and they will shun away. So it's not just a matter of coming to church and being like, portraying that you are holy or that. If you don't agree, you don't agree. If you have to make a point, you make your point and you go. So that is one aspect. The other aspect about the positioning, I was just thinking through. I have an elderly woman here. She's not here today. But just this year, she told me that she always thought I was coming to be her daughter-in-law. But the point is, when you were saying this, so I was thinking that, oh, maybe the mother too should have helped the son. But to me, I was not positioning. I was also looking somewhere. But the mother felt like, oh, there was a good opportunity for my son. And that day when he was saying it, I was so like embarrassed. Oh, who did not mean himself? But she ended up saying that don't also hear me, so it's okay. So I think the mothers can also help their son as well.
Okay, sir. Please, mine is on how the things that ladies can do for them to be able to catch us. And I'm looking at.
Have you been caught already?
Oh yes, please. I'm in it.
Maybe it might be a nephew.
Oh, yeah, for her, she's my sister, but I'm courting now. But
you're not married yet.
No.
Oh, they're still available. Don't worry, talk.
Yeah, but one thing is, any guy who sees a lady on the first day and proposes will definitely fail, because the person doesn't know you. So you must start it from somewhere before you get somewhere. So we normally check up on the person early in the morning, late in the evening. So you create something in the person's mind. She will wake up with you and then go back to you with you. Hey. And at the same time, you've not bought any data for me, but I'll be the first person to watch your stats. When you are sick, I'll be checking up on you. I'll be the first person to wish you on your birthday. Mm-hmm. Those are the things that I have intentionally decided that I want this lady to fall for me. So you have to play your cards well. And I think that if the ladies will also do same, no one will marry or fall for his or her enemy. when we find out that this person is showing a concern, then I will definitely also look at it. And I think it's all direct towards the positioning. You've decided that what can I do to let this guy fall for me? So you start from somewhere. If on the first day you meet me and you are looking at me, I look so fresh, and you tell me that you are interested in me, it will not work.
I doubt if a woman will be bold to do that for the first time, but a guy can do that. Okay, yeah, I think.
Mine is a question with regards to this positioning. I believe in the Naomi story positioning, but then this tells us that people marry or go into relationships for different reasons. What someone may define as love today is just money. So my question is, if we are agreeing that strategic positioning is right, how then do we tell people that this reason of yours for getting into a relationship is wrong? They want, maybe I'm a young lady, I just finished school. I want someone to take care of me. So I see Ohineba Kofi, he's rich. Okay, I'm going to position myself. Get what I want from him. Am I wrong? Am I not just positioning myself to get what I want? Especially in this day and age where the end justifies the means. How is that?
Okay, so anybody that wants to help?
That's a good one. Yeah, I think we are not in any position we are not addressing the question of why people get married. If you ask anybody, even those, including those who divorce, they will tell you that they married for love. Nobody tells you their real reasons. Even this young lady who is going in because Mr. Oheneba has money. If you ask her, she will tell you she's doing it because she loves the old man. Fortunately, he doesn't have the money anyway. But you better go for love. But I think that is the issue. To be honest, the issue here, people marry for several reasons. And it's not for us to, and it's difficult, actually. If you ask my wife, I think one of these days, my wife asked me that question. They have a way of asking this question at a very awkward time. What did you see in me that you married me?
After you've married.
After I married the world. What did you see? I said, I saw everything. So be specific. Because to be honest, we all had reasons. And some of us, if we were to tell you the reason why we got married, maybe we shouldn't have married at the time. But God has a way of taking us through a learning process. Even when the initial intention was wrong, He corrects that. There are people who also thought they were marrying for love, only to find out. So I think that we have to encourage people to marry for the right reasons. Especially when we are talking about the fact that a lot of divorce rates are on. If you marry for such reasons, your chances of probably getting a divorce or entering into a divorce is quite high because the foundation is so weak. If the man, you get in there, he doesn't have the money, or the money is probably welded to his children, are you going to get out? And no wonder we are seeing the spate of divorces that we are seeing. People enter marriage with all the wrong reasons. They get in there and they realize that the marriage is not what they thought. And then they want to now back out. We will encourage that you marry for the right reasons. But it's difficult at Mensa. For any young lady, I'm not sure any young lady will tell you at Mensa, I'm coming in for your money. Or because you look nice. Or because, no. They will say they love you. And it's difficult at that point to tell whether the love is genuine. You yourself, you don't even know whether your love is genuine. So let us talk about the positioning. With the hope that you are positioning because you have something to offer, in the marriage. You have gotten to a point where you think that you can be a helpmate to the other party, then you are entering that. If you don't do that, and you are just positioning for positioning's sake, then the result will show when you actually, enter the marriage. I wanted to share an experience, but let me hold it here.
I just want to add something to what Eda was saying, like the intention. Although the Bible has said that the wife will be a helpmate, what kind of helpmate is the Bible talking about? You see, some men think of having a helpmate in different terms. I know of a friend who married because he wanted somebody to wash his clothes. And that's why he got
he
married.
wanted to marry washing machine.
Unfortunately, when the person he got married to wasn't an Adventist, but the person converted, became an Adventist. And that time, the person was very slim, beautiful. After some time, she developed hips after giving birth, and she became fat. And the person said, hey, I bought a saloon, and now it has become a tundra for me. Saloon car, and now it is a tundra. You see? And now there was series of problems in the marriage. You see? And when the lady heard that the reason why the husband married her was to wash his clothes, it became a problem for her because it wasn't because of love. So the Bible says the wife will become your helpmate. What kind of helpmate are we thinking about? Or come and cook for me. Then she becomes the maid for you. That's why you are getting married. So we have to understand what the Bible is talking about before we get into it.
Yeah, but here, before anybody comes in, I think the ladies too also have to be smart. So if such a guy always calls you when it's washing time, you also need to be careful. Or he needs you only when he wants you to cook. Then you should know that the help that he needs is only that one. So women should also have what they also want from a man. So today we're trying to help balance the equation so that you'll be able to live happily ever after. Okay. Any other thing? I was going to introduce this thing about when we were young, we called it betweener kind of thing. Yeah. Is this still relevant, or the way it's done is the issue? That is helping, for instance. Okay, one other thing is that when we had home and family life being powerful, you know, Mama, they could arrange marriages for people, and it worked. Not all of them do. But this kind of thing, can it also be used to help the young people trying to match them?
Which one are
like
you? Personal betweeners.
Yeah, we're talking about.
You are going to use me as a betweener.
Oh, maybe sometimes you've seen a guy, you know a guy, and you've seen a lady, and you think that they.
All right. To the extent that as I said, I had an experience of betweener. So for betweeners, and I have examples, and probably this was people may be watching us live. So betweener for me is a no-go area. Except that probably you are talking about, say, recommendations.
Okay.
That, okay, I have this guy at my place. May you want to have a look at him?
But it's the same.
No, it's different. It's different. A betweener is an active agent whose work does not end until the deal is signed.
The connection man.
The connection man. This is one is, for example, we are friends, a group of friends. You are interested. You have told us that you are interested. You want to get married. So if we see anybody, you know, whatever, who we think is good, or at least we should suggest, not recommend, you know, suggest that, oh, can you have a look? There's this lady I've seen, and that's how far we should go. Those recommendations that try to force people into making decisions should be stopped. Because what I realize is that if the relationship goes well, they will forget about you. When it doesn't go well, you will be blamed for the rest of your life. If not for Eldan Sedu. Eldan Sedu de wahame pao. Bema phone say. So for that, but please, I can draw your attention that, oh, there are about some 3 ladies in our church who are also ready. Can you come around and have a look at them? Study them if you are interested. But that's where my job will end. people's mind can be drawn to look at certain things, but it should end there. We shouldn't actively be seen as making decisions or trying to connect them by force. Usually, they will take the reputation of the betweener and not the two people. So if Tonto is somebody he reveres, if Tonto is the one recommending for me, then I will accept it. I will go. They go and face their own hell. So for me, and personally, I know at least 3 betweeners who ended up taking over the project. They took over the project for their friends, and they handled them up to now. Some of them happily married, and they are in the same church with the other person, and they have never agreed. Sometimes some of the problems we face in the church, where for example your son is going to marry my daughter, and I say I will never agree, is coming from there.
You can't explain.
Why are they ashamed? I can also explain so, to my daughter that. So, Daddy, why? He said, please, you don't understand. You don't understand. So, please, for me personally, I will never do the work of a betweener. I can make some suggestions, but that's how far I'll go. Thank you.
Okay, Pastor.
And Kojo, I agree with you 100%. Because it's dangerous. If some people are done between us, they wouldn't even get married now. What you are talking about, the betweener side, then the matchmaker. One of the best matchmakers in Ghana is Akuma Mama Zimbi. She has closed that shop. Yes, she has closed that shop because it is dangerous. It ends up in so many tragedies because you become the person who is the one doing everything. So the people, it's a relationship. So there shouldn't be third persons are foreigners and aliens to that relationship. So it's very important you leave the individuals to make their choice. So that matchmaking and betweener and all those things is dangerous. People see me and say, Pastor, we are in trouble. Oh. Pastor, why are you not finding a husband for this person? I don't do that. Please don't come to me with that. No, it's something you don't do for people. It is not even respecting the person by finding an elderly person shared with me. He matched the son with a woman. As I'm telling you, it didn't work out. He put conditions there to match the son with a lady. Positioned the lady, he went. No, the son was having a different taste. He ended up disappointing the parents. So mostly, some do work, but mostly, you see, even these movies that we watch, that the rich family want to marry from the rich family, what do you see? They end up marrying from the poor family. So we should leave that aspect. Let the individual make that choice because it is he or she that is going to stay with this person and tolerate this person for the rest of his life or her life. So if you are don't come and make me a betweener. If you come, I'll fail you. I'll fail you in that. And if you want to make a matchmaker, be careful. When you are just joining people, you are walking and just be joining people. People do that. That is their contract. They just see you and say, oh, you are beautiful, I want to. And they be just matching people. Yes. And you end up, they enjoy it. Because some enjoy, they come and tell you they take some booties from you. They go and take from here. And they've been doing that. They enjoy it. It's like their contract.
Okay.
And when we are talking about godly process, look at how God does this. After creating the woman. When he created the woman, he just resurrected Adam. Look at the proclamation of Adam. This is the bone of my bone. God did not say, I've created the bone of your bone for you. I've created the flesh of your flesh for you. But Adam proclaimed himself when he saw that this is the bone of my bone and the flesh of my flesh. So let's respect that individual to make that choice. I wanted to bring these points. You are looking at the foundation of this. We have a problem initiating, maintaining relationship. Okay. We have a big problem. Because I always agree with Nancy Van Pelt. Let's read this book of hers, Complete Courtship. She starts relationship from the fetus, how human relate. We were discussing this when we were coming from Kumasi. The fetus, how you relate. You start from the fetus state because we are relational beings. And most of the time when we are starting, you start from your home, but this one is outside your home. The foundation is friendship. You see, in friendship, everybody is vulnerable. Everybody is vulnerable. Everybody behave the way they behave. They can do everything freely. The moment you bring in a proposal to move the friendship to the next level, people take position. Then pretending starts. So, in the initial state, it should be friendship. That's where she begins, and it works.
Okay.
Friends, how do you make friends? She even make steps to befriend somebody. One basic thing, you meet the person. Hello, how are you? What is your name? You see, these are the steps. Where you come from? It starts with questions and answers. My father will always say, any foolish man can say, I love you. So when you meet a woman you are in love with, don't tell her, I love you. Don't tell a person.
Let the person see.
See,
you love.
that's the issue. So the basic thing is friendship. What do you do? That's the basic. So when you start, in positioning, the woman too, you can meet the man. You are not going to tell the man, come and marry me. No, when you see him at church, oh, hello, how are you? Where are you coming from? What is your name? These are basic things that nobody will reject. Because some of the men, we jump the process. We meet the woman, hello, how are you? You are beautiful. Can I have your number? No.
I dreamt about you yesterday.
No. The process is smooth. You go and then you are taking number. No, she will have an intention or he have an intention. But the basic thing, that is a flaw. You start from the beginning.
So getting interested in the other person.
There's no in the person.
Taking interest in what she or he does.
When you ask somebody's name, I don't know how you see it. The person cherish getting to know my name. When you ask me my name, I feel, wow, I'm being recognized. And somebody's paying attention. So it gives me a sense of belonging.
So God says, I will call you by
your name. You see, so that's the basic line when you want to start the relationship, friendship. And friendship comes with knowing the person's name. Then you go to what the person does. Know the position, what he's doing, not the position the person holds, but where you are coming from. Basic things. When you jump this process, you see that you lose everything. I was interested in my wife for 3 months. She never knew. Yes, I'm telling you that. She never knew. I will not declare it.
Watching from afar.
I'm watching from afar. Just a drone view. That time, drone was not there. A bird's view. I will not tell you. Because we're friends, we're working together. I was just looking how everybody was behaving towards. So because we were friends, everybody was vulnerable. So I'm just adding to it that the godly way starts with friendship. And the friendship, Nancy has just given us the process, getting to know the person, whether a male or a female. So as a woman, when you see the man you are interested in, please grow closer, ask the name. Basic step.
Okay, thank you, Pastor. So let's go online small and come. So picking online questions and then.
All right. There's a question from Prince Eduusu online. He says, on what basis can you identify whether a person's love for you is real or just infatuation?
Well, give to.
Prince, I think the bare fact you can't identify. It takes time to even understand why the person is getting closer to you. And I think you can't jump. You see, most of us, we are too much in a hurry to conclude. And I think that's the problem. We should not do that. We should give ourselves time because getting to know another person takes time. And there is nothing you can do to skip that process. There is nothing you can do.
Can we say that the person, just like Pastor was saying, the person taking interest in what you do can also bring you closer to the love, not infatuation? So, Mommy.
Adding up to what Pastor just said. Question. You see, Mrs. Van Pelt says that we should start from a friendship. And that it is not like one day you meet somebody for the first time and then you want to know everything about the person. It's so boring, especially to women. It would start giving you attitude. And also, it is not by force and automatic that once I start friendship with you, I'm going to marry you. Bible says we should go about and have about 13 friends so that you choose from. And it's a process. And it's a process, a gradual process. It's not like once you see that this person is coming, asking you, how are you, calling you, that's oh, you have graduated. This is my husband. That is the mistake we make. And so we have to be careful. The initial stages, it will go on and on and on, and it will just develop into that if it is going to be married. And so it can cut at any time. Because you are looking at about 11 to 13 people. Yes. And so you shouldn't just get up one day and say, because I'm having friendship with this person, that's straight.
Do you start all of them at the same time, or is it a process?
No.
No, the point is at the same time.
No,
or
in your life.
Okay.
When you start making friends,
you get the point.
Relationship, you have to learn to be in a relationship. You shouldn't just get up and say that, oh, because I started going out with this person, the person loves me, so I'm going to marry the person.
But in the 13, do you require commitment in it, or is just normal friendship? All right.
So you know people, and that the range is big, and that you can choose and also make up your mind about certain decisions.
To explore.
And so it's not like some people take people by force. Once you have asked me, taking my number, you are just speaking with me. Oh,
when I call you, don't pick.
It is wrong. It is wrong. Why is it that you don't call me? But you also have a phone that can call. You don't have a receiving phone alone. So those things you have to look at.
All right. Okay.
Yes, Kofi, with that Van Pelt advice, I have a big question mark to it. I don't think it's applicable in our setting. In the sense that, assuming we are in the same church, I have 13 female friends. They are also friends, right?
Please, that is why I wanted to ask Mommy. Yeah, I'm just trying to. Not like having the 13 at the same time. That one will be true.
Yes, so not 13 at the same time. Don't worry. I can have it one after the other. So I asked the first lady out. She says, no. I go to the next person. She says, no. These people are likely to also be friends. Now, Sister A will tell Sister B that, Mike came to propose to me. And Sister B also say that, Mike came to propose to me. There and then, my name becomes ruined. My reputation becomes... No. Exactly, you're right. No. So, Ma'am, I'm not saying that. Yes, I get what Nancy was saying in the book that it's not at the same time. But can you imagine if I get a reputation that in the same church, I propose to this sister. After a while, I propose to this sister.
Chief proposal.
After a while,
but I think
I get a reputation, right?
You see, what Mommy is saying, just making friendship is not the proposal.
Yes,
aspect.
yes, but at some point, right? So you are making friends. Definitely, you are going to narrow down. So let's say you are going through the process. You've narrowed down to 2 people. Now, this tells the other person that, Mike came to me, and I told him I was thinking. Let me be real here, because it happened to a friend of mine. He had to change church. And at a point, he had to even change the region he was living in. It's that bad, because he narrowed down to people. And you see, the funny thing, it wasn't even in the same time. I think he told one, and about 2 years later, he found the other one and told her. And then the first one told her that, and it wasn't like they were discussing him, they were just having conversations about Adventist men. And then the first one went like, hey, in our church, this brother proposed to me. And then the second one was like, hey, Mika, he has come to propose to me, and I told him I was thinking about it. Then he's like that. And it spread like wildfire. So I feel like we should go about it carefully.
Please,
okay, Mommy, then we go
wrong.
to
It
Elder.
is not the proposal stage that we are talking about. You have to know people and know how people behave. There are some men, they've never approached anybody before. And so even what to tell people at the right time. There's this joke that says that a man went to Cape Coast where they sell food. At that time, it was a joke. So he just went there and he spotted one lady who sells rice in the evening and was interested in this lady. So he decided to go and talk to the lady. And so, guys, he just said, hey, this time I'm going to propose to this woman. So they said, hey, you, can you approach that lady? He said, oh, don't worry, I'll go. So one evening, they saw that the guy was going to that direction. So they just followed up. And that at a point, they just were hiding around the place to hear what the man was going to say. So he also gathered courage and went and said, hey, sister, Majo, sister, look at me. Don't you see that I'm busy? Then he saw that maybe the other people will know that the one is giving him attitude. I said, he said, okay. Sister. Then he said, okay, what is it? He said,
Vultures.
The vultures around here. Why do they sleep in the night? He can't just even, he didn't gather anything. He just thought that when you see a woman, you just go and propose to the woman and the woman will follow you. That is not what we are talking about. It hasn't gotten to that stage. It hasn't gotten to that stage. From the beginning, you have to know there are people who can't even make friends because of their attitude. It's a process. You have to learn. Until you get to that stage of dating and the rest, you have to know how to be with friends. That is what we are talking about.
Okay,
it's not at the time that you are proposing that you tell people, go and tell 30 people that one is totally wrong. Very, very wrong. Because this go between people.
So opening up
we have
to people.
Stories that people are in our churches, and now, as somebody said, it has brought a lot of enmity in the church. And that the person will say, go and talk to this lady for me. Those days it was go and talk to the person. And automatically the person is going to marry you. And when the person will say, and you, don't you like me? And before the person was aware, that person was marrying the other person. And it is not easy. And so please, let us look at the difference between friendship and proposing to get somebody.
Making that commitment.
That is what Van Pelt is talking about. Not that you go about in church proposing to.
Demos. Let's hear Demos and then. Hey.
Okay.